Hi everyone, in this video we will explore Ben-Day dots technique for PowerPoint users. Our focus will be on how to replicate this distinctive aesthetic within PowerPoint using simple design strategies accessible to everyday users. Whether you are an educator, designer, or visual communicator, this technique can add both texture and stylistic depth to your presentations. So what are Ben-Day dots? Ben-Day dots are a printing technique that uses small colored dots spaced and combined to create shading and secondary colors. It was developed by Benjamin Henry Day Jr. in the late 1800s. It's commonly used in comic books, magazines, and advertising. If you have seen a comic where someone's face is made up of red and blue dots, that's Ben-Day dots for you. So here on this slide, you will see an example of what Ben-Day dots are. It's essentially a bunch of dots. I have created this using oval shapes in PowerPoint. So you go to Insert, then click on Shapes and select an oval. So one dot here is 0.07 inches by 0.07 inches and it's duplicated across the entire slide. One word of caution is when you place so many shapes on one slide, PowerPoint is likely to slow down, and worst case, when you're trying to make any changes to this, your file might crash. So any open PowerPoint files could close, and when they reopen, some of your changes may not be saved. So keep that in mind before you make any changes to these. A better solution I have for you is you don't need so many dots for most applications. So you can just take a chunk of these and save it on one slide. And most likely PowerPoint will not give you any trouble with a smaller sample. I am in the design mode. You can see that each one of these dots is a shape. So I can just randomly select a bunch of dots. If you go to Home, and let's pick a color, say orange. You can just change these like regular shapes. That's because they are. If I click on a dot, right click and click on Format Shape, and then click on Size and Properties, you can see this one circle is 0.07 inches tall and 0.07 inches wide. And you can format this just like you would format any other shape. However, the benefit we have here is you can collectively format them as if they are a one shape. So I can select all these shapes by dragging my mouse over them like so, and then go to Shape Fill. Let's change this to some other color. You will see in one go, we could change the color for all these circles. You can also change these circles to any other shape. So select all of them. Let's group them. So the shortcut for that on Windows is Control G. On Mac, it's Command G. Then click on Shape Format, click on Edit Shape, click on Change Shape. You can pick any shape you want from here. It will replace all these circles with that shape. So let's replace this with a heart, and you'll see all the shapes have been changed to a heart. We can even apply a gradient fill for this. And this is the coolest part of this. So select all these shapes, click on gradient fill on the right hand side. And this is where you can specify the gradient. So let me simplify this. Let me just have 2 pins. On one end, let's select a darker red. On the other end, I'm going to select the same red, but this time under transparency, I'm going to specify the transparency as 50%. We can even go higher to say 80%, and you'll get this cool gradient effect. You don't have to use transparency. You can use a lighter color straight away. So let me change the transparency back to 0%. Then click on More Colors, click on Custom, and drag this slider over to the lighter side. Click OK, and there you get a nice gradient fill in just a few clicks. One thing to note is this only works if all your shapes are grouped. If you ungroup them, the same gradient will be applied to every single shape. This is not what we want. So let me undo that, and let's change the color back to black. Let's change the shape to circle again. Now let's look at different applications of Ben-Day dots with PowerPoint in mind. First, we can create these interesting looking icons. Let's ungroup this chunk, then go to Insert, click on Icons, select an icon. Let's say chess. I'm going to select this, enlarge this, put it in the corner like so. We can increase this even more. I think this much is fine. Then copy all the dots that are covered by the icon along with the icon. Paste your icon and the dots on a new slide. So Control V. Let's send this icon to back. I'm also going to color this white and give this an outline of black so we can see all the dots that are part of the icon. Next step is to delete everything that's outside of this icon. So this can take some time, but it's worth it. Once you have removed all these extra circles, set aside the icon, have a look at all your dots and see if they give us a nice silhouette of the original icon. If there are any minor tweaks you need to make, you can do that. So like, I think I can add another circle here. We can even remove a couple of circles here. So I'm just creating a small space here. And I think that looks good enough. Group all of these circles, Control G. Next, you can apply a gradient to these. So we already have a preset gradient here. I'm just going to remove that. Let's apply a vertical gradient like these two icons. So select this, or maybe the opposite of this. We can change this white to a darker color. And I think that looks fair. So that's how you can create icons using Bend-A dot technique. Next up, we can apply this to a chart. So I have a regular pie chart from PowerPoint. To add this pie chart, you just have to go to Insert, click on Chart, then select this pie chart here and click OK. You can change the values if you want, but essentially you will get a pie chart like this. Now I have taken a small sample of these dots from here. All you have to do is just copy these dots, click on this individual shape here. So I've just clicked on this blue shape here, or blue pie here. Then press Ctrl V to paste your dots. Click on Fill and Line on the right hand side and scroll down to find this option called Tile Picture as Texture. That should fix the proportions of these dots. For this pie, let's say we need orange shapes, but this time we don't want circles. Let's say we want triangles. While these circles are selected, click on Shape Format. Then click on Edit Shape, click on Change Shape and select a triangle. Change its color to an orange. Then copy these shapes, single select this orange pie and press Ctrl V. As before, click on Fill and Line, then check this option called Tile Picture as Texture. That should fix the proportions of our triangles. For this gray pie, let's go with some other shape. So this time I'm going to pick a pentagon, change its color to a gray color. Copy these pentagons, Ctrl C, single select this gray pie and paste your pentagons. So Ctrl V, click on Fill and Line and check this Tile Picture as Texture option. And you get the idea. So there you can apply interesting patterns to your charts using these dots. Next up, we can create these interesting looking background elements for your slides. So what I've done here is I have taken a small chunk of this, I have pasted it here, and I have applied a gradient that goes from this black color to a white color. So you can use this for creative backgrounds like these. Next, if you have an existing image, you can just put these dots on top of them to create this nice looking texture. What I have done here is I have selected all the circles and I have merged them into a single shape using Merge Shapes Union option. So this way, it's easier to work with these dots without hanging your computer or crashing your files. So as you can see, I can freely move this without affecting PowerPoint at all. First time when you combine them using merge shapes, it will take you time. So make sure you save your work. Once you have converted this to a single object like this, the change shape option will not work like before. So as an example, if I click on some other shape here, say this diamond, you will see this entire thing got changed to a diamond because now all these circles are a single shape and not individual circles. But the benefit is it's much quicker to work with. Next technique is you can create interesting backgrounds with Ben-Day dots. So here I have overlaid an image on top of these dots. So let me show you how to do this. So select some image. So go to pictures. Let's go to stock images. I'm going to type in background. Pick a nice and clean image like this. The less colors there are in your image, the better this effect works. So if you choose a busy looking image like this, it may not give you a nice result. So I'm going with this image. Let me stretch this all the way to cover the slide area. I'm going to crop the axis. The first effect we can apply is place these dots on top of this image and see what we get. You can change these colors if you want, say this color. If you are happy with this, that's well and good. But I want to show you, you can take this a level higher. Copy this background image. We can delete this because we don't need this. Then right click and format shape. Click on picture or texture fill. Then click on this clipboard option. What has happened is PowerPoint has applied this image that we took to these dots. To see this better, let's click on somewhere outside the slide area and then right click on format background, and let's select a background color like this. Now you can see this image way better. Our image is applied to these dots and we have added a background color. So these dots pop and we can see this image nicely. Here are a few more examples using this effect. Here for the background, I have applied a gradient. So where we have these yellow dots, I have applied a yellow background, and for these blue dots, I have applied a blue background. So you can create some interesting looking wallpapers using this technique. Here is one more example with a human subject. This is another example of Ben-Day dots. Previously, we had dots of the same size spaced out equally. We just changed their colors, and in some cases, we even changed the shape from circle to other shapes. But here we have circles of varying sizes, and this too creates a unique effect for us. You can also call this halftone. Halftone is also another unique printing technique that we can cover at some other point. So that's all I had for this video. I hope you found this technique useful and you will give this a shot. I will share the link to this file in the description. I would be interested to know what you come up with. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe for future videos, and I will catch you next time.